Good morning. Just want to get on for a few minutes, right quick. I was sitting over in the chair. I was just talking and speaking to the Lord after I read Isaiah 53 verse 5, which states in here. This is basically what I had did when this happened, because I was seeking the Lord, trying to hear and reminding Him of His word. I read Psalms chapter 1. I read Psalms chapter 1, Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5. And I read this after I had read John chapter 14, verse 20, verse 21, uh, uh, verse 23, then 26. As a matter of fact, so maybe y'all can get a little feel how this went. I'm gonna try to backtrack the way that I went with this before this happened. Okay, John chapter 14, verse 20. It said, "At that day ye shall know that I am in the Father, and ye in me, and I in you. He that has my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me, and he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and I will manifest myself unto him." Verse 23. Jesus answered and said unto him, If a man love me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode in him. John chapter 14, verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I said unto you. So I read that, then I went to Isaiah 53 Isaiah 53 verse 5, and I read that. Went to Isaiah chapter 53 verse 5, and I read that. But he was wounded for our transgression, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So I remind him of Numbers 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither son of man that he should repent. Has he said and shall he not do it, or has he spoken and shall he not make it good? And I read Psalms chapter 1, read that. Then I was guided to Psalms chapter 57. So that was the last thing I read. After I read Psalms chapter 57, I sat back and I was asking the Lord, am I wrong? Am I being misguided with this by Charlie Clark? I said, I can't take and make all the numbers and stuff line up like this, So what's really going on? And as I was talking to him about that, letting him know, I kind of feel that, you know what I mean, it's a lot more to it. Maybe he might be being used as a scapegoat, or he might know something about it. But the way that they saying that bullet, the type of bullet that they saying was used, the way they say that'll tear a deer up or even bring down a full-grown moose, and maybe 2 or 3 of them if they line up. So I went to thinking about all that, and then just the feelings that I've been having about certain stuff. So I just went to asking the Lord about that, and I got reminded about what was being said in Genesis chapter 4, verse 6. And I got reminded about how all that started with Cain and Abel. In chapter 4, when Cain and Abel was taken and given the sacrifice to God, and how it went from both of them giving a sacrifice, and one sacrifice being accepted and the other sacrifice not being accepted. Okay, let's go up here. We're gonna read from verse 2 on down. Okay, chapter 4, verse 2 on down. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruits of the ground of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and unto his offerings, unto Abel and to his offerings. There was the firstlings, the first of, okay? But unto Cain and to his offering, he had not respect. He had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance failed. Now, verse 6, and the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Verse 7, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? So, if you look at that part and look at how all that started off, then this whole thing got to speaking to me about a sacrifice that they're trying to give to God that they saying is good and righteous. It's not. And if I pay attention, it got to speaking to me, if I pay attention to how this has taken me from Genesis chapter 4, verse 6 to Genesis chapter 6 and to Matthew's, and then, through these different parts. But how right now it got me in Jeremiah chapter 7, where it's revealing the same numbers, not only the same numbers that's in chapter 4, but even the numbers that's in Charlie Kirk's Death and Voodie. I can't pronounce his last name. Voodie, 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 Buckham. I said I was going to listen to a thing and let it play over and over, and I've been kind of ripping and running, and my knee been real messed up too. I twisted, but anyway, I got reminded about this in Jeremiah, how Jeremiah in chapter 7 is pointing out certain things, and is pointing it to people that's supposed to be connected to the body. People that's supposed to be people of praise and worship, they're supposed to be doing right, but they're offering God a sacrifice or worship that is not worth. So I started getting reminded about all this and how all this is connecting in that way. Okay? And how certain things are just not adding up with the young man. Not saying that he didn't have nothing to do with it, but just some of the things that's being pointed out by Candace Owens and other people just ain't lining up. But here it is, the media, FBI, and everybody saying, okay, right, we got the person who it is, but other things ain't adding up. Something that's not right. What did Cain try to do? Offer God a sacrifice that God didn't respect, that wasn't right. So all of it, got to speaking to me in a different way, and I got to ask the Lord, like, okay, well, he's 22 years old, it's 22 and that, and how all that taking and that connect like that. And, I basically just got reminded about, he's still a part of it. So by him being a part of it, him being 22, and then he helped me reflect too on the 33 hours. The 33 hours break down to 6. So that gives you that 6 and 22 too that I first pointed out to y'all. Okay, and went to remind him about how I kept on being guided back to chapter 4 even before that happened. Remember, I did the video on the second. I didn't know Mother Moore had passed either. But I did that video on the second one. I was talking about how God always did things with man and woman, family, always wanted a family, all that. And that was one of the places that I went to in the Bible when I took and I did that. So just all that started to, he started pointing all that out and then pointing to me how I'm right here in Jeremiah chapter 7 right now. And how not just is the numbers in there again in a powerful way where you can't deny it, but the message is basically speaking, to Judah. And Judah supposed to be like, represent the lion. That's the tribe that Jesus is supposed to come from. But he's saying to them that y'all saying the temple of the Lord, but, y'all not worshiping me. You go on to read the verse, which I'm going to break it down try to do it 2 or 3 verses at a time till I finish it. But this right here just really caught me this morning, because I know a lot of people that might be watching this video might be saying, okay, well, Bernard, or Andrew, because I got Andrew Bernard, he must not be paying attention to something ain't right about it. And I've been paying attention. And I've been asking the Lord, but I've been constantly being pointed back to how all the numbers are lining up and how it's speaking to us about things not being right in the government, in the church, and in our houses. So it doesn't go against that God is trying to speak to us like he was trying to speak to Cain. It doesn't go against what I already. It doesn't go against that. Here it is that they might be trying to offer up somebody that didn't actually do the shooting. Y'all, I hope y'all kind of see how this is talking, regardless of the fact, because for that to be where it's someone that is 22 years old and 32 hours, and you get the 6 and 22 from out of that, okay? Or that right there takes and sending you back. When you take and you do it, if you go backwards, you get the 4 and 6, which leads you to the 4th chapter 6 verse, because you can go break the 22 down. That's 4. You break the 33 down. That's 6. You're still getting it backwards, still sending you back to that. And you can have videos that I have showing that I was already being guided back there. So the bottom line is, I want y'all to know that I'm asking the Lord, because certain things are not adding up with me as well. You know what I mean? And then for them to be sticking to this like that. Not saying that he didn't have nothing to do. I don't know. The way the Candace Owens and other people took cars and the way that they be taking and doing research and able to pull stuff, but I don't know how to do that, but I'm listening. I'm listening to them. I'm listening to another young brother down there in Texas named Isaiah. He taking and doing videos on that, and I'm trying to keep up with that over there in Nigeria. And we need to be really, really praying for our brothers and sisters over there. And it just goes to show that a lot of people are one-sided. Because I remember how everybody, was willing to take and move for the unrighteous attacks that did happen to Israel in the beginning, because that was wrong with Hamas Day. It was wrong. And soon that happened, they come to me, they finna make them pay. It came to me just like that. And that's where it ended up happening. Okay? But here it is for us to know that they're over there murdering our Christian brothers and sisters like that. And all these other nations that's supposed to be Christian nations just standing by ain't doing nothing. We need to be paying attention to all this. Something is wrong with that too. Okay, something wrong with that. And this right here, with Charlie Kirk's assassination, and how Mother Moore took and passed, and how that took and lined up, and then how Charlie Kirk and the pastor, profound pastor, because I listened to some of his stuff too, Voodie, I can't pronounce his last name, how when you take and do this on them, how that's it taking them, then the way that it's hollering. When I say hollering Jeremiah chapter 7, it's crazy, y'all. And then how it takes and go right back in Genesis chapter 4. So what I'm trying to get y'all to hear me say is that this is speaking loudly than we know if we really pay attention. Just think about this. Just think about this, y'all. What if that young man actually didn't do that? How unrighteous is that sacrifice that they're trying to give for someone that served God righteously? Because every video that I've seen on Charlie Kirk, he was about that word. He was about it all the way. He's about family and all of that. So in a way, you know, I hear a lot of people point to him as being a Stephen sacrifice. I'm not disputing that because I can see that in a big way. And I can also show some stuff in that too, but that'd be a little bit too much on my plate. I'm not a Perry Stone, not a John the Curry, I'm not a Joseph C., I'm not a Troy Bryant. Bad brothers. I'm not, my pace is way slower, but it all connects. If I had the right time and mindset, I could show you that too. Okay? But here it is. He was living as a righteous sacrifice, just like Abel was, standing for the right thing and bringing the firstling of his thing of himself to God. And I remember one of the videos that he did when he was getting people into the organization. He basically has said one thing that he wants everybody to understand is that this is not about them. He wanted everybody to get that understanding off the back. It wasn't no individual thing. This was a united thing that had to do with Jesus Christ and the Word. You know what I mean? So everybody that was dealing in self, he wanted them to come from out of that and then be to where everybody was on one accord about God's business. I wish I could find it. I should have kept that video. Real important. And I just want y'all to think about this. I just want y'all to think about it. What if he's innocent? That makes this message, not completely innocent, because the way that this is, for them to be taken and doing that is something else that they do know that might be jabbing them to it. But from what they saying, the kind of bullet that they saying, they saying that kind of bullet would tear you up. And these are coming from well-known hunters, from snipers. I don't watch numerous different videos of people talking and listen to Candace and other people, you know what I mean? The way they saying that this bullet would do it would tear you up. It would literally just tear you up. You know what I mean? So, even if he has something to take and do with it, and you're not hearing about the other little things that's connected to it, is like he's been trying to make cover up, then what is God saying? Because in Jeremiah chapter 7, if you pay attention, he's speaking to the church. He's speaking to the people out of the church. He's speaking to the people in government. I did a thing last year when I was doing Jeremiah chapter 7, and I was saying that God was speaking to Joe Biden and the Democrats and them, but I also seen how God was warning Trump and them. I got to find that video. And I was speaking about this last year before the election. Now we're right back in it, and it's showing what God is speaking to this administration and speaking to the other half of the church. Because it's evident that God took in his hand, moved in a powerful way against the Democratic Party. But it's also evident that some people in the Republican Party and some things that Trump's still not listening to. Because in Jeremiah chapter 7, when you end on verse 12, he's telling the church and he's telling the people, go back to where I had my name at first, Shiloh, and see what I did to them. And if you pay attention to how God took and knocked the Democrats down to their knees, and how this warning is warning the Republicans right now, and the people that's supporting the Republicans or supported that party and voted for Trump like I did, how he's warning us, hey, what y'all doing, y'all got to get this right, because he's doing some things that's right, but it's some things that God is speaking to him and telling him, no, don't do this way. And one thing that I really feel in my heart that he's saying to Trump in a big way is God wants Trump. I know he got holding a lot of meetings and how to do a lot of things, but sometimes he's just going to have to say, no, I'm not doing that right now. I'm finna go in here. I'm going to talk to the Lord. I'm going to get on my knees, or I'm going to turn on me some church music. I'm going to listen to me some music, and I'm going to seek the Lord. He needs to be doing it himself. So when someone that's supposed to be a spiritual advisor or something like come and say something to him, he can, been insult God. So when that person come, God can say, okay, that person been in my counsel. Oh, no, that person ain't been in my counsel. I said this. And need to know his voice for itself, because there's some stuff that's getting ready to come, getting ready to happen. It's finna be real bad, y'all. Real bad. And yes, God's spirit is finna move. I've been saying this since 2019, 2020, at the same time, we're going to see God pouring out his spirit, a big move of God. We're going to see all kinds of things happening. I started telling y'all about the year of the Bible, the year of the 66, year of the 69. Started telling y'all that, we was entering in, I think it was 2022, 2023. And then we was going to see more of Matthew chapter 24 play out. I've been saying that for years. So I wanted to make this short, so I'm going to get up off of here, and I'm hoping that I get back on track, because I got kind of sidetracked on that stupid incident that I took and involved myself in stupidly after God had been warning me that certain people wasn't listening how I was hard, and so I'm glad that I was able to hear that one part that he reminded me about Marvin Wines, because I had slipped back into my old ways of thinking. And I'm so glad that he loved me enough to, when I sat down, to remind me of that, or whoever he had to remind me of that. Thank you. Thank you, Lord, because it had to be someone that was serving you, because I would have felt stupid afterwards. Real stupid. Because I've been warned, just like God is warning us now. Please, I beg y'all, please, pay attention to this. And really pay attention to this if they know that the young boy ain't actually the one that pulled the trigger or really behind it. How much more is that speaking? Not just to the body as a whole, but to our government. Please pay attention. Please read Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 1 to 12. Read it slow. Read it slow. Then go to Jeremiah chapter 23 and read 12 to 21. Just read that and ask the Lord to talk to y'all. And if you have time, watch the other videos. And watch the videos that I'm going to get ready to do. I'm getting ready to take and repost the ones that are already reposted, because I know Facebook going to be taking them down. But just watch them. Because I want to send the Lord, like, Lord, what if he ain't the one to do it? And just remind, it don't negate how all the numbers ties right into the verses and what he's saying. It even points to it even more. What was the biggest issue with God with Cain? God didn't have respect of his offering. What if they trying to offer up something that's not right or all the way right? Think about that. I'm going to go on and get off of here because that just hit me. I was like, and I've been asking God this for about the last week and a half now. Because just certain things ain't making sense to me either. Not saying he ain't got nothing to do with it, but just what if? Wouldn't that be a sacrifice that God didn't reject? Oh yeah, one more thing I want to bring. It was a video that I'm going to take and repost. I want y'all to really listen to this video, please. It was a video in there where it was a man, I can't think of his name, but he was a news reporter. He said he went in there to the Charlie Kirk funeral thing that they was doing, and he said he was able to take and feel that the people in there was trying to call down heaven on earth. But what got me is he said he felt that, but he had to leave up out of there because of what he felt. Now, if you feeling that people are trying to call down heaven down here on earth, why wouldn't you want to stay and be a part of that? And when he said that, I was like, huh? That's the place you want to be. If you really feeling that they feeling this and you feeling this, he said he can literally feel it, and it made him want to leave because that's what they was doing. I'm going to take and repost it. I'm going to find it and repost it because I think I saved it. I'm going to find it and repost it. But see, that's the type of stuff we need to listen to. When we know that people know that you got certain people banging at the door or the gates of heaven, and people are feeling that, but they don't want to be a part of it. Or they know it and they deny that it's a good thing. Because he said he felt it. He felt that they was bombarding heaven. I'm going to find it. Y'all need to listen to that, man. Then y'all need to pay attention to this thing with Charlie Kirk. Really, really pay attention to it with that. And then Voodie took a pass. And then I found this, Lord is my witness, I found the number 3636 or either 63 years ago. And that's what all led up to me taking and doing these charts and whatnot and coming up with the year to 66 to the year to 69 and all that. How do that number show up with both of their deaths? How, y'all? And how is those same numbers showing up in Jeremiah chapter 7? Now, like I said, I'm going to try to concentrate more on just speaking about the verses and try to talk to y'all and just do the numbers and not just overstress on because that might lose a lot of people. So I'm going to try to do it anyway. Just work with me, please. All right, I ain't gonna lie. I'm struggling with this. I felt God's grace up on me a little bit the other day before the incident happened because the way this stuff was coming to me was crazy, man. It's crazy. I mean, not in crazy madness, but it was like in such a beautiful way where like I would write down stuff and get to write a whole page, and then I stand up and I walk around and give him a little praise, and I could sit back down, write a whole nother page, and it was just a flow that was there. And all I had to do was not go outside. Because they already talked to me earlier today. Not listening. So please listen, y'all. And keep this one thing in mind. I'm say it one more time. What if the sacrifice that they trying to offer right now with that young man ain't right? Or offering them up knowing that it's way, way more. And then feeding us different stuff. Then what if something is wrong with the whole situation? Anyway, I love y'all, and I'm hoping to be back on point by Sunday. Give me a few more days. I just needed to talk to him in the right way so I can show y'all this. I'm gonna plead and bang at his door, asking him to let it speak to y'all like he spoke to me the other day. Cause it's really for it to line up like it has lined up. It's saying a lot, and a lot of us know that what we giving God from out our hearts ain't right. Judah supposed to represent praise. Jeremiah, when you open up, you go there, he talking about Judah. So he letting us know right off the back end that our praise and stuff ain't right. Anyway, I'm gonna just please, just think about this. What if somebody else was involved in that and that young boy actually didn't do it but knew about it? Or what if he didn't know nothing about it and he being framed about it, but all the numbers to him connected this, and God is saying, this sacrifice, this ain't right. This ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't want that. And he making it known. Or what if he do got something to do with it, but they trying to shut the door to other things, and God saying, that ain't right. Read 7 slowly. Because in 7, it speaks about a lot of things that he was warning Judah and the people of Israel and Judah that wasn't right. Same thing. And all the numbers go right back to chapter 4. All the numbers go right back to Charlie Kirk, Mother Moore, Foodie. How, y'all? And even the Mormon president that just passed, Russell Nelson, I believe it is, even ties into that. And his death even ties into the church shooting that happened the next day. Wow, man. And then this with Charlie Kirk shooting and chapter 4 and Jeremiah chapter 7. When you pay attention to, you get to number 28. That happened on the 28th. Anyway, I'm going to go and get off here. I've been on here too long. Just think about it, y'all. Think about it. The whole thing with chapter 4 that happened with Cain and Abel was one sacrifice was right and the other one wasn't. What is God talking about in Jeremiah chapter 7? Something that's not right in the body. What is God talking about in Ezekiel chapter 8? Something that's not right in the body. Just pay attention to the flow, all of it, how all the numbers are right there. Love y'all. Have a blessed day.